Floor, 6 feet under, nevermore. Slowly dripping, your blood seeps as I watch my bank increase. Now I'll hide you in this box, cover you with sand and rocks. Swiftly.
Sup fuckers, how you doing tonight? It's your boy Krow the Omega. And this has been a great show 50. I've been proud to be a part of it. Make friends and enemies, and this has been a great show. You'll never see another one like it. So I'd like to proudly introduce you to the man who made it all possible, my friend, Professor Britwigger! Wigger!
Good day, class. Professor Britwigger here. Mad Professor Britwigger. No ha-ha-ha.
Good day, YouTube. Professor Britwigger here. I just want to congratulate everybody and thank everybody for what has been a huge run up to show 50. Some bi-weekly, sometimes a few more weeks in between, but always gaining momentum, always trying to change and get better. And on the way, we've met other feds. There are some feds that are better, like DWI Impact, like Ballydung. There are other feds which can or will just not as frequent as us, like Steve Lives Here's feds, like DeVito's fed, before the YTWE, which some feds actually came out of YTWF because of Chris Collier's desires and passions, which passed along to DeVito. And I thank them for that, because I brought along and furthered along a legacy. E-feds are not something all over, not real e-feds. Some e-feds are just written and not video. Other ones are just things that people do for whatever reason. Even Boston Fan did a pretty decent fed. I wish I'd seen more. And I'm glad to have had him on board. And along the way, even before the official 50 shows, other videos. And, you know, it was a unique start because I didn't know what an e-fed was when I started this project years ago. It was Fixer. I think a lot of you know who Fixer is. He started the idea inadvertently by asking people, yes, I want to take you on online and beat your ass. So I made like we were playing online. And then that evolved into a gym class to keep the educational air about. And then it turned into a federation, later approached by DWI, telling me I had an e-fed and didn't know it. And I was told I was even a history about me. They were keeping an eye on me because I was another e-fed. And then they had adopted me into their fed, and I learned from them and made the YTWF better. And now here we are at show 50, gaining more and more people. The thing about this fed is its objective was always pulling together strangers who didn't know each other. A lot of my friends didn't know these other people. Some people didn't last that long. other people who were more famous just didn't carry on. But then there was some, such as, for example, off the top of my head, Karina Kaboom, who started off with 100-something and is now, last I saw, more than 3 times my subs, which was mostly because of her work. I did a little tiny bit, but I'd like to think my Fed did something to make her life better, and we know each other a little better now, and we talk. And, like some people don't know, and some people yet do, a lot of work goes into every show, into every match. One can do a slap-together piece of crap, but I really put a lot of effort into it, no matter what anyone says. And people like TG, they try to emphasize that. He knows what hard work is, just in staying alive. Which is something we have to thank TG for showing us. While I struggle with things, I look to TG, because he struggles. And that's what I do for him, because he does for me. I've made great friends. I've made enemies. And then made friends again with some people, such as The Wiz, a phenomenal, prominent character on YouTube. Misunderstandings, false moves, and on my part as well. Admitting it. Have admitted it, will admit it. But Wiz showed to be, was one of those people that showed to be one of those great people that just looks for the good again. And that makes me feel good. And it was at a good time, too, when I needed more support. It does that, too. The Fed brings out people's feelings about things that have nothing to do with wrestling and just starts a whole new cycle of good. Some people, I think, if there wasn't this YTWF, probably never would have made the things they did. People who are grown adults. People who have lives. People who do goofy things but never would have gone down this avenue. People like Cameo Collections, who guides young children in gymnastics, and yet had the time to do a few promos. Really well done promos. People like Karina Kaboom. Really good line of videos based on nothing about wrestling, but did a couple anyway, because he's that kind of person. People like TG, who have a lot more important things to worry about than my Fed. But he made many videos. Made a few videos that almost made me cry. Because I'm that kind of a pussy, I guess. Sorry, much to talk about. Much. But people like Craig, would he have ever made a wrestling promo? One of the best was when he was doing that grizzly yang yang thing, you know, that. One of the best promos I ever seen in my life. This man who has better things to do in his life did that. And I'm thankful for that. Certain promo makers I like to thank right now, whether I repeat myself or not. CC Rants, for the most recent ones. Some that were carried on by other people. Karina Kaboom, who did some alluring videos. Keeping in theme with her regular videos, but going with our flow. Kid Blood, who made some good action-packed promos. The good old 80s style. And in the past, before the 50 shows, Maximania and Uncle from Hell did some great videos following matches. Really went all out with the props and everything, along with Refereeville. And, of course, Craig, you did many promos, and even just promotional videos, which on that note, people that shouted out or mentioned, first and foremost, I'd have to say, Torp, who even at times thought maybe I forgot about him. No, I never forget people who obviously have better things to do, like you, Torp. You have a family, you have a life, and you actually, well, you said you were butthurt, but that's just another word for giving a shit. You cared so much that you took offense. I never stopped caring, Torp. I never did. Because anyone that takes the time to give a shit about my crap, well, I don't forget them. And I always knew you helped. I always knew. I just didn't react to reactions. There was no point. TG, of course, made a lot of heartfelt promos, emphasizing the hard work that goes into it. McFucker, with his comments and comments and comments, keeping in touch, keeping in theme. McFucker had to be one of the most hard-working people, because even commenting takes time. And the whole rule system of the YTWS is the more work you do one way or another, the more success you will have. And that is why things went the way they did, and the way Show 50, a prominent show. This is a prominent show. Show 50. It was special who got what. It really mattered. It could have been Show 55, it could have been Show 48, but it was Show 50 where you take a look at who got what. And that's why, despite the storylines the way they went, things went the way they did. The path was controversial at times, but we gained more roster people yet. And we went from trying to recruit people to having to trim the fat. Like, I'm guessing around 40 at least. At present time. Having to let go of some people. The objective was always, up to now and beyond, it was always to make YouTube better. And I think I did in a way. People may forget about this a month after it ever finishes. But I'd like to term the phrase immortalized. I don't know if it makes any sense grammatically, but there's immortalizing something. Well, this is the internet, and the YTWF is all over. It's all over. It has caused ripples. It has affected lives, and lives have affected the YTWF. It is something I'll never forget. After it's done, I will have a very hard time ever forgetting it. I'd have to be utterly, utterly mentally damaged. I found new avenues and found ways of making other people happy. A lot of the music I get is off of SoundCloud. We get the real artists sometimes with off of CDs and so forth, iTunes, but they're the real artists. But SoundCloud has made some songs that you'll never find, and you can contact them directly, and they love that you're using this stuff. Like Mr. Vox with Moose's theme. Paul Cardoso for the latest Money 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 theme for Romby. That's just a couple. But it helped me find new avenues and create new alliances and making more people happy, which is what I've always wanted to do. Now, the big news in the YTWF. As of now, the YTWF is on an indefinite hiatus. That was the countdown. Some people thought they knew. A lot of people never knew. And this is not a gotcha. This has been going on for a couple months now, maybe more. But I have some health problems. I'm not going for any sympathy. I'm just telling you what's going on. And I'm trying to keep up my spirits. But unfortunately, on a short note, my doctor told me that I can't get an x-ray because of the government policies. So now I'm kind of in a screwed position. I'm experiencing dizziness, even though I told my doctor. And that's not good. Neck problems and causing dizziness. Could be a pinched nerve, don't know. I also have the TMJ. That is not helping me at all either. That is why I have this mouthpiece, which saves me a lot of trouble. And the anxiety that comes from all that is distressing. But I'm not going to go down that avenue. I'm not looking for sympathy. The YTWF, though, has been a strain. That is how hard it is for anyone who ever thought it wasn't hard. All the recruiting songs and the editing and the filming and the creating. It's been a lot. So, as of now, the YTWF is on an indefinite hiatus. I want to congratulate the gold holders as of now. We have the women's champion, Karina Kaboom. The tag champions, McFucker and Rage. The hardcore champion, Cat's Ass, Craig, what have you. And the men's champion, TG. None of these were pity offerings. These were showing deserving winnings. Now, I'd like to thank all the people that ever commented. The raters. The haters. The ones who labeled it, even, cartoon wrestling. Not to be smug, but what was meant as an insult was actually a pretty good label. It gave it a new meaning. Just like labeling wrestling entertainment, sports entertainment. This is cartoon wrestling. It's what it is. And it was a good run. So I'd like to thank everyone for watching. I will be doing other projects. They are just things that will just keep my mind off my health problems while I'm trying to pursue solutions. And class dismissed for the YTWF.